Tonight, let your mind drift far away from the present moment, and into a city that has been sleeping and waking for more than 2,000 years. Imagine ancient Rome after sunset. The heat of the day has begun to fade from the stone streets. The great temples and rooftops are no longer sharp beneath the sun, but softened by moonlight and the small golden glow of oil lamps. Somewhere in the distance, a door closes. A voice fades. A pair of footsteps crosses a quiet courtyard. And yet, Rome is not truly silent. Even at night, the city seems to breathe. To sleep in ancient Rome was not simply to lie down and close your eyes. It meant sleeping inside a world of stone, smoke, voices, animals, wooden shutters, thin walls, and uneven streets. It meant trying to rest while the city around you continued in small, restless movements. For a wealthy Roman, the night might bring a private room, linen bedding, a courtyard open to the sky, and servants moving softly through the house. But for many ordinary people, sleep came in crowded apartments, above noisy streets, in rooms warmed by bodies, lamps, and cooking smoke. So tonight, we will step quietly into that older world. We will not rush through battles or emperors. We will not follow armies across the map. Instead, we will enter the ordinary Roman night, the rooms, the beds, the sounds, the fears, the dreams, and the small rituals that shaped sleep in one of history's most famous cities. And as the modern world grows quiet around you, we will ask a simple question. What was it really like to sleep in ancient Rome? As evening settled over the city, Rome changed its rhythm. During the day, it was a place of movement. Merchants called from shop fronts. Carts rattled against stone. Clients hurried to greet patrons. Slaves carried water, food, letters, and household goods. Public baths filled with voices. Markets crowded with buyers. Courts, temples, workshops, and streets all pressed together in one enormous human noise. But after sunset, the rhythm softened. Doors were shut. Wooden shutters were pulled closed. Oil lamps were lit inside houses, taverns, and workshops. The last glow of daylight faded from tiled roofs and columns. Shadows stretched across courtyards. The city did not become silent, but it became slower. Inside a Roman household, the evening could begin with a simple meal. Bread, olives, cheese, vegetables, wine mixed with water, and sometimes meat or fish might be shared depending on wealth and circumstance. In poorer homes, the meal was practical and plain. In wealthier homes, dinner could be longer, more social, and more formal. But eventually, even the most active household had to settle. An oil lamp might be placed on a table or near a wall. Its flame was small, yellow, and uneven. It did not fill a room with light the way modern electricity does. Instead, it created little islands of brightness. A bowl, a cup, a hand, a painted wall, the edge of a doorway, each appeared and disappeared as the flame moved. The smell of burning oil was part of the Roman night. So was smoke. In many rooms, air did not move freely. A lamp could make the air heavy. A cooking fire could leave traces in the walls and ceiling. The night was not always clean, still, or fresh. It was warm, smoky, and human. For the wealthy, sleep could be private. A Roman villa or large townhouse might include a small sleeping room called a cubiculum. It was not a bedroom in the modern sense. It was often smaller, more enclosed, and simpler than we might imagine. The finest decoration might be on the walls, painted panels, mythological scenes, colored borders, and carefully planned designs. The bed itself could be a wooden couch or frame, with mattresses or bedding made from materials such as wool, linen, or other stuffed fabrics. A wealthy sleeper might rest near an inner courtyard. The courtyard brought air, light, and a sense of space. In the center there might be an impluvium, a basin for collecting rainwater from the opening in the roof. At night, moonlight could enter through that open space. The house might be guarded from the street. The door might be barred. Servants might move quietly, finishing tasks before sleep. But even comfort had limits. There was no air conditioning. No sealed window. No silent fan. No perfect mattress shaped by modern industry. The sounds of the house, the street, and the animals outside could still reach the room. A Roman night was never completely separated from the world around it. For ordinary Romans, sleep could be much harder. Many people lived in insulae, apartment buildings that rose above the streets. These buildings could be crowded, noisy, and dangerous. The lower floors were often more desirable. The upper floors could be cramped, hot in summer, cold in winter, and risky during fires or collapse. Privacy was limited. Walls and partitions did not block sound in the way modern apartments try to do. A person trying to sleep in such a place might hear everything. A neighbor speaking softly. A child crying. Someone coughing. A door opening. A pot being moved. Feet on stairs. Voices from the street below. Animals outside. The distant sound of a cart. A drunk voice near a tavern. A watchman passing with a torch. To sleep was to accept interruption. The bed of a poorer Roman might be simple. Some slept on low frames. Some may have slept on mats, straw, folded blankets, or whatever bedding the household could afford. The room might also be used for storage, cooking, eating, or work. There was often no clear separation between a bedroom, a living room, and a working space. At night, bodies shared warmth. Families slept close. In winter, this closeness could help. In summer, it could make the heat worse. Imagine a hot Roman night. The walls have held the day's warmth. The air is still. A shutter is open, but little breeze enters. A thin cloth lies on a mat or low couch. A water jug sits nearby. Somewhere in the building, another lamp burns. Smoke drifts upward. The street outside is quieter now, but not silent. The stones still hold the memory of the sun. Now imagine winter. The same walls feel cold. The floor is hard. A blanket is pulled closer. A small brazier or lamp gives only limited comfort. The room smells of smoke, wool, clay, and old plaster. Outside, the city continues in darkness. The night feels long. The sounds of Rome shaped sleep as much as the rooms did. During certain hours, carts and wagons moved through the city. Because daytime traffic could be restricted in parts of Rome, the night could become a time for transport. Wooden wheels against stone were not gentle. They rattled. They bounced. They echoed through narrow streets between tall walls. For someone trying to sleep above the road, that sound could be impossible to ignore. There were also taverns and food shops. Rome was full of small businesses opening onto the street. Some were quiet after dark. Others remained active. A voice, a laugh, a cup placed down, a disagreement, a song half remembered, these sounds could travel through the night air. Dogs moved through streets and alleys. Footsteps passed. Doors were knocked. Someone came home late. Someone left early. Someone whispered where they should not be heard. And then there was fear. Night in an ancient city could be dangerous. Fire was one of the greatest dangers. Buildings were crowded together. Many people used lamps, braziers, and cooking fires. Wood, fabric, oil, and straw were everywhere. A small accident could become serious quickly. The fear of fire was not abstract. It belonged to the texture of daily life. A person might go to sleep knowing that a flame was burning somewhere nearby, perhaps in their own room, perhaps below them, perhaps in a neighbor's space. The Romans had night watchmen and firefighting forces, especially in the imperial period. The vigiles patrolled the city, watching for fire and disorder. Imagine them moving through a dark street with torches. Their presence might have brought comfort, but also reminded people why they were needed. There was also the fear of theft. Doors were closed and barred. Valuable objects were kept inside. A household might place trust in locks, bolts, servants, dogs, or the simple hope that the night would pass without trouble. For the poor, there was little to steal, but much to lose. For the wealthy, there was more protection, but also more reason to guard the house. Sleep required trust. Trust in the walls. Trust in the door. Trust in the flame not to spread. Trust in neighbors not to cause danger. Trust in the gods, perhaps, and in the small rituals that made the night feel less uncertain. Roman religion was part of domestic life. A household might have a lararium, a small shrine for the household gods, the lares. Offerings, lamps, and prayers helped connect the family to protection and continuity. The night was not only physical. It was emotional and spiritual. Dreams mattered too. Ancient people often took dreams seriously. A dream might be a message, an omen, a warning, or a strange movement of the soul. Some dreams were forgotten in the morning. Others were remembered, discussed, and interpreted. A Roman going to sleep did not enter a meaningless darkness. The night could be a space where gods, ancestors, fears, and desires came close. In a quiet room, beside the last light of an oil lamp, the boundary between ordinary life and dream life could feel thin. The lamp burns lower. The house settles. A footstep passes outside and fades. A dog turns in the street. A shutter moves in a faint breeze. Somewhere far away, a cart will strike stone. The sleeper breathes slowly and waits for rest to come. And this is perhaps the most human part of the Roman night. Though the city is ancient, the feeling is familiar. The need for shelter. The search for quiet. The wish to feel safe. The hope that tomorrow will arrive gently. A person in ancient Rome did not have our machines, our walls, our glass windows, our soft mattresses, or our electric light. But they knew the same transition we know. The fading of the day. The slowing of the body. The moment when thoughts become softer and the world begins to drift. Toward morning, Rome changed again. The darkness thinned. The first birds moved above rooftops. The outlines of temples returned. Shopkeepers prepared their counters. Bakers worked early. Water carriers moved. The city, which had never fully slept, began to wake more openly. For some, the night had been peaceful. For others, broken and restless. For some, it had brought dreams. For others, worry. But the morning came all the same. The doors opened. The streets filled. The lamps were no longer needed. And the city breathed again. So as you rest now, imagine that old Roman morning arriving slowly. Not all at once, but gently, roof by roof, stone by stone, sound by sound. The world of ancient Rome is far away from us, but the need for sleep is not. Across centuries, across languages, across empires and ruins, people have always searched for a quiet place to close their eyes. Tonight, that is enough. Let the city fade. Let the lamps grow dim. Let the footsteps pass into the distance. And let yourself rest.